Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Western Montana Views. I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome.
Let's get into talking about the aliens and how screwed we are.
All
And
right, all right, all right. You want to go first or you want me to lead it off?
how about you lead it off?
Okay, all right. We all know that there's aliens. We've known it for decades and decades and decades. And we've been relegated to the crackpot, tin hat, crazy crowd
Mm-hmm.
because we say that there's conspiracy. Um, so why right now, currently, in the month of May 2021, are the media outlets and the governments deciding that we need a little bit more information on
Yeah,
aliens? Now, were we crackpots to begin with? Right? Was the conspiracy actually
I
a
stare
true
at the camera.
thing?
Yeah,
Why are they spoon feeding us more alien stuff when we've always known that they're out there? It's just, and we've always known that the government has been denying us any tangible information, facts, evidence. Um,
mm-hmm.
I mean, lay it on us. Lay it on us, government. Lay it on us, media. Lay it on us, military. Tell us about the aliens. I don't think that you can shock us.
At this point, I don't know if it can shock us at this point, the way humans treat each other at this point.
It's like they've
So
got
what are aliens?
they've got to be more benevolent than us.
Yeah,
Think of it this way.
hopefully.
Think of it this way. They don't want anything to do with us.
No.
They just want to keep an eye on us.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
an experiment.
I
Possibly.
mean, I'm sure that there's bad aliens out there. I'm sure that you all have your own ideas. We all have our own conspiracies. My
Mm-hmm.
my tin hat is right over there. I
Mm-hmm.
can just pop it on my head right now and be protected. So that's why we thought we'd talk about aliens today. Um, my first comment is, why now are they giving us more information?
Because we're seeing it more and more with our own eyes. We have camera equipment that can pick it up. We have people that are, distinguished that can accurately say what these craft are doing. So they're seen as experts now instead of just crackpots and, people
Uh-huh.
that should have their careers ended.
Could it be because confidential and secret and
Oh, sure.
information has expired? It's have come to the expiration date of when they're actually time sensitive. Do you understand what I mean? They have some
Right.
intel. It's sensitive as hell and has to do with national defense only up until 1965. Then we can divulge that. And then the next time they divulge something, which is now old,
Right.
and what's the term I'm talking about when a component is
Antique or what?
yeah, antique. Okay.
Or antiquated?
Antiquated. So when their information is antiquated, then they divulge it to the people.
Sure.
Maybe that's the same thing going on now.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It's outside of our realm and scope
Right.
on what the aliens could want.
So when you do watch Ancient Aliens on the History Channel, highly recommended. Good show. I've seen every episode. I wish they'd play some more new stuff. Side note to the History Channel, play some new stuff. All right.
At least on the reruns.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've got to have another season. Don't be so lazy in your broadcasting that you can't bring us more poop. If you're going to talk about aliens, give us more info.
Right.
Um, yeah, so aliens, I mean, are they benevolent? Are they just kind of standing off and not letting us destroy each other because we're such an interesting science experiment to them?
I think they have a stake in us somehow. Like, they definitely have some sort of intergalactic skin in the game when it comes to Earth.
Yeah, in your imagination.
Because we are, that pale blue dot in the sky, And because of this, we're the only water planet that's like observable in, a lot of the known galaxy.
So as long as we don't completely 100% irradiate the planet, they let us just go on existing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because water. You think it's water?
I think so. I think water is a big part of it.
You think that they could come and get our water? I think scientists have proved that that can't happen unless it's like the Earth exploding or
right.
something like that. You cannot get all the water off.
No,
the
you
Earth.
can't get all the volume of water off the Earth.
Unless you froze the Earth entirely and then hit it with a projectile and shard it into ice, and then it would be in outer space.
Well, what they're saying is the sun will actually, reach its distance now to where Earth is at the end of its life cycle when it's a supergiant.
Yeah,
so
it's going to gobble us up. But
you know what?
Yeah. I'm going to be dead, long gone dead. Won't have to worry about it unless my theory of reincarnation comes true, and then I'm fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think they were really interested. I think the aliens were interested mostly in us because, hey, we could fly and we could do these terrible things to each other in World War I. But then they were absolutely terrified at the end of World War II when it came to the nuclear war.
Sure. Yeah, I think us involved in aviation amused them. But when we lit off that bomb, those bombs,
plural,
in Japan,
2. Yep.
The aliens sat up and went, "Oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
these ignorant bastards got themselves something,"
Mm-hmm.
and now we need to pay more attention to them.
Yeah.
So they're trying to preserve.
So what?
They're
Go ahead.
trying to preserve this little Garden of Eden that's
Mm-hmm.
circling around on this blue ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty benevolent. I mean, just not to come in and get rid of us.
What do you when it comes to the Roswell aliens? Why do you think the 4 crash landed at Roswell? What do you think?
Oh, any number of things. I mean,
Think it could have been shot down? You think it could have
No.
been? Yeah, I don't think it could have been either. I think it's actually mechanical failure on board the craft,
do you think it was?
of some sort.
Do you think it was teenage aliens out hot rodding Dad's rig?
In Intergalactic Highway, yeah, maybe.
Who knows, man? Maybe they lost their gravitational power source and they just kind of augured on in.
Mm-hmm.
You got to crash somewhere if you're next to a planet. So
Can't drive 55,000 miles per hour.
no.
Too slow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just shithouse luck. It could have crashed in Boise, Idaho. It could have crashed any place. It could have crashed in Minnesota. And then you would have had a whole bunch of Norwegians going, "What do you think about this?" Oh, yeah. It looks
Don't you know?
Don't you know it looks like a disc?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nay fee fund. I never knew what that meant. My dad used to say.
There's a lot of family in the region, so
yeah, we're making fun of our own relatives.
heritage.
So.
Yeah.
As to Roswell, specifically why the government wanted to use that as its base is that it was flat. You could land a spy plane on it. It was like
Oh yeah.
it was like the Bonneville.
Sorry, you're gonna get me going now.
And maybe the alien crash there was the first time that military people stood in the area and looked around and went, "God damn, this would be a nice little place to
Right.
put an airstrip, and this would be a nice little place to put some hangars."
Sure.
So, and it just started from there. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so they say that, in the latest thing that we watched on the Travel Channel is that, aliens contacted FDR and then they ended up, talking about like needing to create an ultimate weapon to defeat the Axis powers, basically.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, our geniuses, our scientists, they're very smart people, and I don't think that it was anything that an alien put in a seed of thought into, the rocket scientists
or to Oppenheimer.
No, I don't think so. I think that they were just biologically intelligent
Mm-hmm.
Far more than the average bear,
Sure.
So I don't think that there was any alien influence in that. And I think that they were truly inspired with the mathematics of splitting the atom. And they were well on their way to that. At that point, I don't think that aliens had anything to do with Earth other than maybe stand off and watch.
Sure.
Mild interest. The Crusades, probably pretty entertaining to the
Mm-hmm.
aliens. World War II probably impressed them for our viciousness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when we lit off that nuke, that's when the galaxy sat up and said, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Those irresponsible earthlings have created something that they can destroy themselves with, and
So quickly too.
they're gonna screw up the petri dish.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're flying around and going, "We aren't gonna let you shit in this petri dish."
Right.
So bring it on. I mean, hopefully they aren't flesh-eating monsters that you see in some sci-fi flick. But at that
Yeah,
point,
hopefully they're like Paul. Hopefully they're
hopefully they're like Paul.
they're like stoner aliens,
some smart ass that wants to eat shit out of my fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully they're that.
If there's a dead bird that my cat kills, he would make it live again, and then he would eat it.
Yeah,
So
it's a perpetual toy.
right.
Perpetual toy.
So let's talk about skyrocketing housing prices, not just in Montana, but the whole United States as well. But we can talk about Montana primarily.
Well, I think I can't speak for every place. I can't speak for Montana, and my advice is don't come here, man. Don't come here. It's not what you think it will be.
No, it's not what's being sold to you on TV.
However, I have thought about the other side of that coin too. If you're from Montana and you've moved away and you've been gone many, many years and you want to move to Montana, you want to return
If you
to
have
Montana,
roots, you mean?
If you understand Montana and you have roots and you have a support system and
Sure.
if you've moved away and want to come home, then cool. You know what you're in for. For all of those that think that Montana is the answer to all your get away from the population density and all the crime and all that,
No.
you won't. Proportionately, it's the same amount.
You're the most likely to be killed by a drunk driver in Montana as well.
Oh yeah. I was just about to slip up and say we love our drunk drivers. No, we don't love our drunk drivers.
I mean, it's a serious problem.
It is a serious problem. You have more of a chance of being killed by one of our drunk drivers or freezing to death alongside the road in the middle of the winter when you've taken your phone or your car into a ditch. And our wildlife will eat you up. Now, houses, they are astronomical in price. And
higher than I've ever seen before.
And the typical work in Montana is blue-collar work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a person that can live anywhere in the world and you say, oh, that's not true, I made a living in Montana. Well, I am speaking the truth because you could live anywhere in the world and you just happen to be living in Montana. That's not the norm for most white-collar workers in Montana.
Yeah, and the wages have always been just crap.
Yeah, if you're going to be a white-collar worker, you typically... Montana has white-collar workers. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the majority of the white-collar workers don't live in Montana.
No, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Right. And if you're come here and find a job, chances are it's a blue-collar job.
Yep, service sector job.
It's a service sector or it's a construction job.
Mm-hmm.
And, construction doesn't shut down in the wintertime. It just gets more miserable. And think twice. And my advice is, if you think you're just going to pick her on up and you're going to head on out like a John Candy movie, you're in for a big wake-up call, and you shouldn't come. You should not come. It's a dangerous place to be. And I'm not even talking about shithead people that feel one way or the other about this or that or the other thing, too, We have our gun problems in Montana. We also have people like me that believe that an armed society is a polite society.
We have people that drive way too fast on the highways.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking about driving in Montana, after you've passed a car, get into the right-hand lane. If you're on a 4-lane road and you pass, God damn it. Don't get on my driver's door and sit there for 5 miles. Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then get into the right-hand lane so that someone else can pass you. Don't create rolling roadblocks in Montana. You might do it back home, but in Montana, we pass completely and we regain the driving lane, not the passing lane. The passing lane is the passing lane. The driving lane is the driving lane. Get it, got it, or don't even come here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep, because a lot of people do jam up the highway that way.
They do. They create a physical hazard. And, because of the distances we have, you don't have an ambulance roll up in 5 minutes in Montana.
No.
It takes what?
Half hour, 45 minutes, if not more.
And that's if we can get an ambulance to you.
Right.
In which case, we got a helicopter you. The medical community in Montana is rather extensive, and more services can be found in maybe more diverse services can be found in one city over another.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't like metropolitan area where you have 6 different hospitals within a 5-mile radius.
No, that's true. You don't. I mean, the closest level 1 trauma centers are where? Seattle and Salt Lake.
Seattle and Salt Lake. We still fly patients out of here to medical installations that have the next level of care. If you're a burn patient in Montana, you're going to end up in Harborview in Seattle within hours. If you're a sick baby, you're going to be down in Phoenix, Arizona on the next life flight down. So we do have those services, but it is not a place where you want to get hurt in.
No.
And so you got to be mindful of the time of the year, the way you're driving. We still have road rage here. We have people that get pissed off on the road. Don't make eye contact with these people as you're driving by. Don't be dicking around.
Yeah.
Remember that your automobile is a mode of conveyance. It is better than walking. So use it as a mode of conveyance and get to where you're going to without incident.
Mm-hmm. And if be around. If you're gonna stay, be around for a while. Just take your time. When you drive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
is what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be the person that doesn't want anyone to come here. Tourism is a big part about Montana. We like our tourists as much as any other state appreciates, their tourists and stuff. But you get tired after a point when common sense should prevail, and you've got someone creating a rolling roadblock, going down an interstate, holding up traffic, pissing people off to the point of being red in the face,
mm-hmm.
and basically being inconsiderate.
True.
In your visit to Montana. We have a saying for backpacking too. You pack in your garbage, you pack out your garbage.
Sure.
That's just common sense and stuff. But still,
I mean, I want to get back to wages too for a second too, if you don't mind.
Oh, wages! I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean,
care. Wages have never really been able to really cover a living very well in Montana.
Well, I think nationwide, it hasn't kept. Wages have not kept up with the cost of living. Obviously, I mean, that is a no-brainer, right? And there's been no attempt at trying to have wages keep up with the cost of living. We're long overdue for raises.
Mm-hmm.
The workforce needs a certain amount just to cover the basics, rent, food, utilities, automobiles.
Savings.
They need that much without having to have 3 jobs in order to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say that you're a business, then if you're worth a shit, you should be able to provide your workers with a survivable wage. And if not, then it's not really a business that you own. It might be a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
Seen that done a lot.
And then from what I'm reading too, like in Seattle and other places, when it went up to $15 an hour, the average burger went up like 50 cents, 75 cents, something like that. So it's not insurmountable.
No, you're going to get a certain climb in inflation.
Inflation, yeah.
And, a booming economy, a red hot economy, is something that you really don't want, because what will happen is interest rates will go up.
Sure.
They will just go up. And then we were in that quandary in the 70s. Inflation in the mid 70s and stuff was because the economy was booming, and they had to put the brakes on it, and so inflation went up.
Do you think that's where we're heading now, is high inflation?
I think it's very likely.
Yeah, I think it's likely too, when it comes to building and housing prices, and when it comes to the price of lumber, and when it comes to how low the dollar is compared to other currency right now. There's a lot of factors that are saying that we're red hot, and if you keep happen. And something's going to happen. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
no, but they're saying that I heard someone say on TV, some pencil pusher, he was saying, God love the pencil pushers, that if the wages were to have kept up with the cost of living from the time that they stalled till now, you would have to be paid over $20 an hour.
Yep.
But if you were to be paid over $20 an hour right now, inflation would be through the roof. And you'd be paying, well, if you drink beer, you'd be paying $10 a six-pack. Or if you wiped your butt, you'd be $5 a toilet roll, Because they get you where it hurts, man. The beer and the toilet paper.
Yeah, but so would you argue that there shouldn't be a minimum wage at all? Just pay people nothing?
No.
If they want to, just let them be slaves?
No, you can't.
If they're bored?
No, you can't have that. And
maybe give them a meal, but that's it.
And what I'm saying is that some people are into business for entirely the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't bringing a quality thing. They're just spreading around more shit.
Right.
They aren't really contributing to the need of the society. They're just using it as a tax write-off. I got this business. Well, how much does the business make a year? Nothing. I use it for our tax write-off. I'm really sticking it to the government. That sort of shit happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need those businesses to actually exist? No. Should they be encouraged not to exist? Yeah, maybe so, because they aren't really a business. They call themselves a business, but all it is nothing that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that's needed. But no, wages needed to have gone up a long time ago. And if the millennial generation, the X, the millennial, the Zs, and the ones that follow, if there's ever going to be any hope for them to invest in the things that they deserve and want, like home ownership, marriage, children, a new vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
If they're ever going to be able to afford this stuff, they have to have the money in their pocket. And as long as they're not getting the money in their pocket,
inflation though,
they'll never buy that stuff. Or you wait until the big die off, the big baby bust. Baby boom, baby bust. Right?
Interesting.
And when all those old people die off, guess what? There's going to be a surplus of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think it'll be worth what those old people think it's worth? No. Because there'll be so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Enter the half-price sale.
It'd be nice if we could get to the half-price sale.
Well,
sooner the better.
Can't predict when it's going to happen, but it has to happen because you have a baby boom and you have a baby bust. All those babies were born at the same time. Guess what? All them babies are going to die at the same time, and there ain't no medical establishments that will be able to keep up with them.
No.
they'll die in droves. They'll wonder if
Right.
it's COVID-21 that's doing it.
Well, they'll all need health care, like that end of life care at the exact same time, and there won't be the bodies to cover all that end of life care.
Because they'll stress the medical system.
Yep.
It'll be COVID-25 is killing these old people off. No, they're just old. They're just old.
Right.
And they're just going to die. I mean, there's a thing called natural causes. You can die from natural causes. And when you're 86, 92, I mean, you should be so lucky as to live to 86 or 92.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what this world's going to be like in the next 10 to 20 years.
Right.
You can't even dream about being...
I'm going to be aged.
Be 50. You can't even dream.
I'm going to look that way in about 4 or 5 years.
Right. You can't even dream at this point in your age, 30 plus years of age, of living another 50 years.
No.
I mean, you'd sleep a lot better at night if that were the case.
I don't know. Would I?
Yeah, right. Exactly. But the aliens are going to save us, dude. Yep.
You think that's our main thing in life? That's the main event of our lives is going to be is contact?
I think because of the human race, the aliens have learned what humor is. And I bet they laugh their asses off every single day. Solar day.
Well, if you laughed your ass off, join us again here on Western Montana Views. We hope you enjoyed some of this.
All right. You guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.
Bye.